Good morning and welcome back to the channel. And it is, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Wednesday morning. It's a bit cloudy here. Tell me what it's like where you are. But anyway, let's get on with the Celtic transfer news. There's several players at Celtic that will more than likely be leaving this summer. Players that are like Mikey Johnson, who are seemingly valued at £6 million. Oh, the striker that seems to have fallen right out of favour at Celtic. Gustav Lagerbielke is got the eyes of the Italians once again. And what will ever happen to Marco Tilio? Will he be able to come back to Celtic, and will he make it at Celtic? And another one of Ange Postecoglou's signing that haven't really done it. Kobayashi is another player in the midfield that really probably needs to just stay at St Mirren. And James McCarthy. Some say he's still got a year left on his contract. Celtic need to pay him off that contract and just get him off the wage book. And then Seth Haksabanovic also. Seth Haksabanovic that was sent to Stoke last year as a punishment. Never really done anything at Stoke, but the first day of training, he'll be back at Celtic, which I think is unbelievable. Now, enough of the players that need to leave Celtic. We'll know the situation where we need players in the door, and one of the departments we need players in is goalkeepers. And we've been linked with the Newcastle goalkeeper, and I don't think that surely Celtic aren't thinking about bringing this guy in as number one. Celtic said that Newcastle won't stand in the way of Martin Dubravka, following Celtic interest. The Slovakian shot stopper, the goalkeeper, is 35 years old. He's 35-year-old. And I thought, is that the way that I thought that Celtic might have... I can understand why they want somebody with a little bit of experience, but at 35-year-old, he's not really Joe Hart quality, is he? He's not really Joe Hart quality. But it seems that Celtic are interested in this guy. It could be the fact that Celtic are getting him in to be third choice goalkeeper, or to fight it out for first choice goalkeeping position. Because let's face it, we've got Scott Bain, but there is a lot of talk around the fact that Benji Siegrist does want out of Celtic, and we've known it for a while. Benji Siegrist, got to remember, and it's interesting because one of the clubs that's kicking around a Celtic player just now, Genk, is the team that was sniffing around Benji Siegrist back in December, which is interesting. And he was in talks with them for a month. So Benji Siegrist is obviously one of the players that will be leaving Celtic this summer. All going well and good. Benji Siegrist, it's unfortunate for him. I mean, he's came in, he seems to be awfully comfortable, earning fantastic wages and doing absolutely nothing for 3 years at Celtic. And he's saying, look, I'm not getting the game time. Well, you need to prove to yourself that you're better. I mean, is Benji Siegrist better than Scott Bain? Tell me what you think in the comments. I mean, Scott Bain's been at Celtic that long that he'll be pulling his pension anytime soon, I think. But anyway, the Celtic have been linked with this 35-year-old goalkeeper from Newcastle. It said that it's understood that Newcastle will not stand in the way of the goalkeeper if he wishes to seek pastures new this summer transfer window. It's an evolving situation at the moment, and Celtic will keep close eyes on the situation. Martin, could he be a good Celtic for signing? I'm not too sure. But it could be a good third choice. Anyway, we move on from that. Scott McKenna has been talking in the media. Scott McKenna has left his club. Scott McKenna, the player that when he was at Aberdeen was approached by Brendan Rodgers for a transfer. Aberdeen obviously rebuffed that. They ended up selling him down south. But Scott McKenna for Celtic. Let's see how he does for Scotland over the next couple of weeks. And but it's said that Scott McKenna is willing to return to Scottish football. It's added to the speculation that he's back on Brendan Rodgers' shopping list. Is he better than Gustav Lagerbielke? Is he better than Rocky? Is he better than Liam Scales? Is the question. Nottingham Forest got their man for $5 million from Aberdeen years ago. They did get good money for him, but despite that, he's now leaving. He's leaving them on a free contract with his career up in the air, as it says. It said that he says he's not turning anything down, and he said that he might return to Scotland. McKenna answered questions at Scotland's press conference on Tuesday. And he says, I'm without a club. I think I would consider anything. There's nothing as of now, so there's nothing I really need to think about. So he's not had any offers. It could be the fact that Celtic are playing that waiting game and they say, look, he's a free. If we get rid of, and you know the way that Celtic will do it, they'll want to make sure that Gustav's out the door. They want to make sure that Rocky's out the door. And then they'll make him an offer. And then they'll make him an offer to come back, to come to Celtic. And I think that's the way that this transfer window is probably going to go. Celtic won't be on the front foot at all. They will wait until they move some players out. If it was me and if I was running Celtic, I would just go out and make sure that we've got the manager's wish list as soon as possible, and then focus on getting other guys out the door. You know, and then focus on getting other guys out the door. You want to make sure that you've got the guys in first. But you know the way that Celtic will do it. They want to get the players out and then get a replacement in. It's crazy. And you can understand it from a business point of view and the wages and all the rest of it. But Celtic are well within, they're only about 58% or something. And for European competition, financial fair play, which is running about 75%. So we've got plenty of room for manoeuvre when it comes to the wage bill. It says there's no bigger stage, McKenna says, there's no bigger stage when you put yourself in the shop window rather than the Euros. In terms of speculation, it's never really gone away when it comes to Celtic. But my focus is to try and get as many minutes as the opportunity arises for Scotland. He did move to Copenhagen, which he was given. He played against Manchester City in the Champions League. Anyway, there's other players that Celtic have been linked with, but it's another defender that used to be with Real Madrid. We're going to get linked with everyone. And the Liverpool goalkeeper situation is one that is staying very, very fluid, as they say. Kelleher has preference revealed ahead of club record. Kelleher is said to be intrigued by a move to Celtic. But obviously, the Celtic in Champions League football. Kelleher, 25. I think he's the better age range of a number one goalkeeper that I want to see at Celtic, because when teams go on a good run, when they go on a successful run, they have a goalkeeper that's at the back for a good few years, and they have a back four that's pretty solid and that's there and it's together for a good few years. And I think Celtic are on the verge of having that. If we get in someone in that left back position that's equally as good as a right back and is up for a fight, and then if we get a defender that's in a similar stature to the one and only Cameron Carter-Vickers, big tall guy that's not fair to put in a tackle or two on a striker, and that can has that little bit of pace, which is sometimes needed in defence. But with the Irishman looking to be in the region between, well, people are saying 20 million, but I still want to know. It'll be interesting to see what comes out in the wash, as they say. Comes out in the wash. Let's see what comes out in the wash. See what comes out in the wash, because you got to remember that the now ex-Liverpool manager and Brendan were having a little get together, a little chat, a little walk and a chat. Anyway, will Celtic go for the goalkeeper, the Liverpool goalkeeper? Will they make him the most expensive player ever after Oddsod Edouard broke the record for 9 million? Will Celtic go out and spend, say, 15 million up front and then related bonuses? You never know. Celtic have said that they're going to spend good money this summer, but we'll wait and see. And I think if we're going to spend good money, I would rather spend really good money on the goalkeeper that we know that Brendan knows, likes and trusts, and not somebody like Barkas that cost 4.5 million. Anyway, it looks like there's an ex-Celtic player that will be on the move that will make sure that Celtic get a nice little kickback. He does have a clause in his contract for an exit for 34 million and a fantastic salary. But Arsenal, Man United are on the hunt for the former Celtic player who was stole. We've got to say it. We stole him from Manchester City at a young age. But the fact that Man United, Arsenal, PSG are in the front, are in the hunt for Jeremy Frimpong, it means that Celtic will get a nice little kickback from that this summer also. It's all about the money with Celtic, isn't it? It just seems to be all about the money. Anyway, there'll be a live tonight at 8 p.m. Make sure you join us for that. giving you plenty of warning tonight. And then the live times will obviously change during the Euros. They'll be on earlier before the games because a lot of the games start at 8 o'clock Celtic part time, 9 o'clock here in Europe. And then there's ones that are on during the day. We will be doing lives on that on Baz Does Euro Football channel, just set up purely for European football. And if you haven't noticed, I am going to start going to some games here in Spain at all levels just to see what it's like. It's in Spain for football. You never know. We might go further afield. It's about time that we started getting back into going to football on a regular basis. Might have to come back to Celtic Park next season. And on that note, still got my season ticket. Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans all around the world. Roll up to the party, roll up to